Deconstruction 2020! Woo. Hey everyone, my name is Dana. I'll be your host this weekend. Oh, I'm getting a little side motion from my co-pilot here. I'm not alone in this endeavor, but let's start off by saying welcome. Welcome to the Deconstruction. What have you gotten yourself into? It's a good question. The Deconstruction is a 48-hour collaborative, online, and real-life creative gathering. We have teams from all over the world coming together this weekend to make and create based on a theme that they were given not too long ago, just this week. So we're super excited to tell you more about the Deconstruction, but what we like to kick off, the Deconstruction has existed for many, many years. There's a long tradition of deconstructions if you're just joining us, but there's also a huge community who participated in this crazy internet adventure in a time before we were really all living on the internet. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We have this epic journey ahead of us this weekend. But let's start with the countdown. All of the teams that are going to participate in this weekend were given the challenge to deconstruct the theme of distance in 48 hours. So, the clock, we're going to count down. Like every good event and every good marathon, it has a clock. So I'm not alone in this endeavor. In the past, these deconstructions that I talked about, we used to have a room full of people. I mean, dozens of people operating all kind of gadgets and on their phones and on their things and the burp, 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 burp. This year, in the studio, you have me, and then you have the creator of the event, Mr. Jason Namoff. Hey, Jason! Here he comes. Here he comes. That's it. Digital applause for Jason. So Jason's running the show, everything behind this beautiful city that we built for you. We built this city for deconstruction. You'll hear me talking to Jason. So, we want you all to grab your digits, or grab, I don't know, your forks and your spoons, whatever you want to do for the ultimate countdown. At the end of this countdown, the official deconstruction begins. Right, Jay?
Right.
Okay, all right, and we're going to have the ceremonial ball drop, okay? So brace yourself. Let's see, that's a good frame. Let's get in here. Okay, all right, count with me, everyone. Let me hear you all over the world, because I know you're watching. Okay, drum roll. All right, the deconstruction begins in 10, 8. What do you think comes next? 8. Is there a 7? Are the kids counting with us? Are we teaching kids how to count? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Here comes the ball drop. 2. This is more exciting than New Year's. 1. Ball drop. So from this moment on, the teams have 48 hours to create something that doesn't exist right now. They're smashing up and they're mashing up all the preconceived bits and pieces that they've been programmed to see, and now, bam! We're going to be different people by the end of this journey. So let me set the clock. Let's go to the clock tower, which is also a work in progress. So here's the clock tower. Okay. Let's set the very high-tech kazoo clock. For those of you who can't see it, there it is. Cool. Okay. And teams, if you have kazoos, join me. The deconstruction has begun. Sweet. Okay. Clock is ticking. Now, if you're here and you're not running to go make your projects, right? Let me go put this back in the clock tower. Thank you. So why are you here? What are we going to see today, right? Well, as I mentioned, the deconstruction is run by the teams. And how many teams are there? Well, we had 58 teams sign up over the last week that registration has been open on our website, which you may be viewing on right now, the Deconstruction, hashtag Deconstruction 2020. Did we just feature the team page, Jay? Oh, we did a little flash to the team page. So on our website, you can find all of the teams that are participating from all over the world. 11 countries. Jay, 11 countries.
That's a lot of countries.
That's a lot of countries. There's, let's see, I'm looking at my hot list. There's Brazil, Germany, Guatemala, Belgium, Canada, United Kingdom, Spain, Colombia, hello, Japan.
Yeah. We still haven't gone to Antarctica.
Antarctica.
We've been on every continent but Antarctica. If anyone knows anyone in Antarctica,
call us. I think I actually do. Okay, I'll make a call. And then the good old US of A. 11 countries. I wish I could speak all of those languages, but we are so excited to talk to you in all of them, the internet languages that we have here today. So you'll be meeting some of those teams this weekend. We're going to have a few of the participants doing live check-ins on our show, and then they're all kind of living on the internet as well on a chat. So can't wait to get to know you all this weekend. And what else have we got, Jay?
Well, we're going to talk to John.
Yes.
And some of the other teams, and then
Let's talk about what is going on in these teams, right? So Jay, you just hit up the page there. I said that there was 58 teams registered. That can mean families, dogs, cats, students. There are a total of about 69 folks that make up those 58 teams. And let's take a cruise. Let's look at this beautiful website. Shout out to Ryan, beautiful website. And Jess. So I mentioned that it's me and Jay in the studio, but we have a team across the country working behind the scenes. We have Baltimore, Oakland, Minnesota, and Los Angeles. So they are all, you'll meet them all in different ways this weekend. So thank you all for working behind the scenes. Let's take a cruise over to Exquisite Dancers. Exquisite Dancers is one of our teams, and they are so far the biggest team. That means the team with the most participants. That's not a measure of joy or enthusiasm, although they'd be a strong contender for it. This is a group based in Baltimore, and I'm looking at my notes. So it's a group based in Baltimore. They describe themselves as creative badasses. That's a tall order. I can't wait to see what you come up with. They're neighbors, friends, collaborators, music listeners, tool librarians, makers, community builders. This is a beautiful deconstruction makeup. We love this. One of the things about this year's theme, distance, is it's a pretty bold theme. This year is like none other, and we really can't wait to see how teams explore the word distance and the theme distance. One of our teams is, we have a group in Australia. Artisanal Pant Pockets will be joining us this weekend. They're a group of queer artists that describe themselves right now as being very bored. Well, you have your work cut out for you this weekend. We are excited for the challenge as well. They're a group of visual artists, performance artists, interactive community art for social change. Wow. Bring it. So excited to have y'all in the deconstruction. So as you can see on the website, there's a lot of folks to meet. There are a lot of amazing art and weirdness that's going to come out over the weekend as we explore distance. But we wanted to get a little up close and personal with a participant who isn't a new face. John Greasons has been a participant with Deconstruction several times in many different capacities. So we want to talk to John and see what he's got planned for this year. So let's go say hello to John Greasons in Georgia. Hi, John. Welcome to the Deconstruction 2020.
Hey, Dana. Good to see you. Glad to be here.
It's so great to have you on. You're not only participating in this year's Deconstruction, you actually have quite the history with Deconstruction.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of deconstruction pedigree, I guess.
Absolutely. We wanted to bring you on this first segment because of that. Because for a lot of people, it will be their brand new first deconstruction. But it's always great to bring a familiar face back because the deconstruction does create a bit of a community, and we love people coming back for more. So we wanted to kind of like tease up your past experience. Like, what was your first introduction to the deconstruction?
Well, the first one was obviously the first deconstruction, but I was teaching at a high school here in Atlanta, in Metro Atlanta, and it just kind of landed another teacher, Kristen Jackson, really great teacher. She came down to my room and said, "Hey, I heard about this thing. Do you want to do this?" I said, "Oh, okay, sure." And so I think it was about a week. We had maybe less to organize it, and we did a lock-in at the school, and we brought in all manner of things, lawnmowers, and I was a three-dimensional art teacher, a sculpture teacher, and ceramics teacher, and so I had a lot of junk. And but we brought in a bunch more, and turned a whole bunch of art kids and engineering kids and just interested kids loose on all those materials, and we had a really great time, and we did pretty well that year.
Uh, is that the year you won?
Yeah, that was the year we won. And then of course the second year, or the second time we did it, we were asked to participate in the other production, and we did the kind of Rube Goldberg event.
That's right. The
Yep.
Common Ground.
Common Ground.
So yeah,
Yep.
in 2016, your school was a part of a nationwide Rube Goldberg, where each device set off another project and another project from California to Arizona to Georgia to Detroit to Michigan and then back. It was really a beautiful, beautiful experience.
Yeah, that was a real honor for me and for the kids too. And I didn't have any of the kids from the first one returning, but it was great to work with a whole new crowd and get them involved. And that was really special.
And now, so this is your third tour. Things are
It is.
really different this go around. Tell us how you're
Yeah.
participating this year.
Well, my life has changed quite a bit. I got out of public education, so I hung that up. I did that for 9 years, and it was very satisfying.
Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Oh yeah, well I appreciate that. But it was time. It was time for me to do some other things for me, and so I know that that I'm meant to be a teacher, and so I'm still doing that. I'm teaching in continuing education. I'm teaching ceramics and sculpture still. Had a couple art centers here in Atlanta. One is the Spruill Art Center, and the other is a little one in my neighborhood called Tucker Rec. And we have the Tucker Rec Potters, and I teach ceramics there. So that's what I'm doing. And the other piece of my occupation has been, well, I need to develop a body of work to sell. And because I really think that in addition to teaching, I'm meant to be an artist. So with that in mind, I thought, wow, it popped up, and this is a really amazing opportunity for me to do it myself. And I was always kind of a little jealous of the kids when they got to have all the fun. And I was giving all the direction, and then I really, really wanted to be in there making. So, but you know, you don't want to. It was about them. I didn't want to hijack the project.
That's right.
So anyway,
well, now the tables have turned a little. That's right. Yeah. So with the framework of now you having your own studio and being the pilot of it, can you give us a peek? You don't have to give us a full reveal, but do you want to give us a peek at how you're going to deconstruct this year?
Yeah, well, you can see some stuff in the back here.
Yes, I do.
I've got a big concept wall going up there, and so, but really what I've decided to do is, you know, I thought about the idea of when I was teaching, I was facilitating. So I was giving information, and while the kids had ideas, I was helping them to accomplish their ideas. So now I reached out to them, to as many as I could, and I just kind of, at first it was just all kids, but then I decided I'm just going to open this up to anybody who wants to participate. So I reached out and said, hey, look, I want to change directions now. I want you to give me information, and I'm going to take all of your information, and we're going to kind of synthesize all that and jam it together. And I'm going to make a piece based on their ideas. So I've got 19 people that have given me information, And I'm concepting that stuff back there and trying to figure out how to get these 19 different approaches to look intentional and have some type of continuity. And I'll be working in ceramic media. So.
And you'll be that's a deconstruction. It sounds like you're maybe off to the races before the clock has well, the clock has started. So yes,
you're
the
right
concept
on time.
Yeah.
I haven't made anything yet. I had to get my ideas.
That is really exciting. Well, I love that you're still collaborating with the community, and we can't wait to see what you create.
Well, thank you. I'm excited to create. It's there's a little stress associated with it, especially with this media, because it's a plastic media. And I went out today and got a few things that I hope will help me pull it all off. And the studio is pretty developed here. I've been working at that for quite some time, so hopefully it's all going to go well. We're going to hit a home run.
I like the pep talk. Speaking of pep talks, what advice would you have for these new participants?
For me, when I was coaching, I think the most important part is listening. Really, and not just words flying by in your hearing. I'm really listening to who you're collaborating with and trying to figure out what information they're trying to communicate. Because when I had all the kids, a lot of the engineering kids would want to take over, because technically they knew what they were doing. But when it came to the artistic piece, that communication, there was a whole other type of student and type of person that was giving information. Sometimes there were clashes with those. So when I was coaching, I just always made sure to slow things down and listen to your collaborators.
That's advice for life, I think.
Well, yeah, I think it's pretty good advice. It's helped me out. So the kids have shown me a lot. I've learned from them and really all my students.
Well, it's one of the most rewarding parts of the process for us as well. So we're so excited to have you a part of the team this year. And we can't wait to see what happens 48 hours from now.
Yeah, me too. Well, you guys keep doing it. I'm happy that y'all are doing it. I'm super excited about that. When I came across it, it made my day. So it's great to be back, and I appreciate y'all. And I'll keep coming back as long as you guys will do it.
We'll have you. Doors always open for you, John. Thanks so much, and have a great day. We'll see you soon.
That sounds great. You take care.
You too.
John is such a joy to talk to. We can't wait to talk to more teams this weekend. I want to, in fact, speaking of one of the teams, I want to apologize to Exquisite Distance. Although I'm sure you're going to be doing a little bit of dancing this weekend, but Exquisite Distance is with us as one of our largest teams. So stay tuned as we meet more and more teams all weekend. One of the great things about Deconstruction is the community that's happening offline all weekend or online all weekend. So they're all chatting with each other on Discord and working in different groups and getting to know each other and really kind of closing that distance. Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, hey, everyone. I forgot to introduce my little friend here. This is Birdie Bye. They wanted to be on the show because we love birds. You'll see little Easter eggs of birds all weekend. So let me just say, we're pro bird.
We're going for this bird thing.
Yeah, we embrace
Put
the
a
bird.
bird on it.
Yeah, put a bird on it. Okay, so for those of you being like, what's on her finger? That's my birdie. Should we keep going? Wrap it up? Okay, cool. Okay. One of the things we have in store for you this weekend is a lot of great entertainment and talks. We have G-Love. We have DJ, help me out with all my performers. There's so many of them. DJ Hourglass. And then on Saturday, there's going to be a lot of other great performers, including Destroy, G-Love, Super Tall Paul. Vanessa from the Ugly Project is joining us for a talk. So you want to tune back in here to the YouTube channel or to deconstruction.org, thedeconstruction.org, and we'll have some conversations. One of the conversations that we did earlier this week was with someone that has created a very deconstruction-like project that wasn't associated with deconstruction. His name is Taylor Morden. He's in Bend, Oregon, and he had this idea. Well, he's going to explain it to you, but basically, in a week's time, he and a bunch of people all over the world recreated the film Back to the Future 2. So we chatted with Taylor, and let's check in with him now. Hi, Taylor. This is Dana Merwin calling from the Deconstruction. It's so great to see you and meet you.
Hi, Dana. Thanks so much for having me. This is fun.
When I first saw your project, it came to me like a little bird on the internet. It was a friend who had just posted the link on Facebook, and there's so much being posted these days, and this just leapt off the screen. I couldn't believe that this had happened, and it seemed that it happened just kind of like quietly and quickly, and it's such a massive project. For anyone who hasn't had a chance to see the project, can you describe Project 88, Back to the Future 2?
Sure. Yeah. Well, it started because I, like so many others, was self-quarantining and staying at home. And as a filmmaker, I talked to all of my other filmmaker friends fairly often. And we were trying to come up with a way that we could collaborate on a bigger project while staying socially distanced or physically distanced. And I had heard about 10 years ago, someone had done a very similar thing with Star Wars, sort of a fan recreation, very DIY, using whatever people have to recreate it scene by scene. And they had spent, I don't know, 6 months and split it up into 200 scenes or something like that. But at the time, I thought quarantine was going to last, maybe a few weeks. So we don't have 6 months. I don't know if I know 200 people. So what we did is I took the movie Back to the Future Part 2, and I split it into 88 scenes, each is between a minute and a half. And we asked people to recreate those scenes using only what they had access to. Within a couple of weeks, I had the entire movie of Back to the Future Part 2 recreated by the fans for no budget, without leaving their house. And I stitched it together, put it up on YouTube, and
the rest is history.
Yeah, it's out there.
It's such an undertaking, and to hear you kind of break it down like that, I feel like really, well, it's in theme with deconstruction. The idea for, this project is very similar. And,
yeah.
Even our build up and startup to this weekend has been similar with just like, give it a short timeline, let's just do it and grab what we have. When you were trying to choose which film, I think we want to address the many things that you love behind you. Why Back to the Future? I mean, yeah, you mentioned Star Wars, and clearly that had been done. But what was there something about Back to the Future that seemed to resonate with this moment?
Back to the Future after Star Wars is my favorite set of movies. And the second one was always my favorite because it has so much to it, right? It's got the past, it's got the future, it's got
hoverboards.
2 different 1985s, it's got hoverboards. It seemed to me to be an obvious choice. And I honestly didn't put any more thought into it than this would be fun. After getting off the phone with my friend and having the idea in my head, I think it was 2 hours before I had the website up with all the scenes chopped out. So I didn't sit down and like weigh the pros and cons of, doing Wayne's World or, the Goonies.
Wayne's World 2.
Wayne's World 2, right?
No.
Right. But a lot of people ask why Back to the Future 2 and not 1, and that's hoverboards is the obvious reason.
Of course, I agree. I think you speak to a lot of things that creators often get caught up on when they're trying to either do a project just for themselves, which are deadlines and constraints and expectations. And so I think that just hearing these elements of a project that seems so massive and so well constructed are really inspiring to hear. And that's kind of what I wanted to hear about your background as a filmmaker, and how did those skills lend themselves to coordinating such a ginormous project?
I came into filmmaking through music. I played in bands all my life, and started out making music videos, and that led to music videos for other bands, and that guy from that band works at this company that needs a commercial, and then blah, blah, blah. And my first 2 feature documentary films were music documentaries. I come at it from the world of music, and specifically the world of punk rock music and this DIY work ethic of like, oh, we want t-shirts, we're gonna have to learn how to print t-shirts, and CDs, I guess I'm gonna get a CD burner and we're gonna print the covers and fold them and put them together and sell them out of the trunk of our car. And that has carried over into filmmaking for me. I sell DVDs out of my garage. That mindset is sort of why I thought this would be possible, where I went into it going, well, you know, if you can't figure out how to get a hoverboard, you can just make one out of whatever, and that's going to be fine. And if I have to edit, you know, 88 different clips that for some reason came in 88 different video formats, then I will. And there was a huge range. We had professional filmmakers and animators submitting beautiful scenes that were finished and ready to go. And then we had, you know, kids who had never, you know, they used an iPad app for some stop motion Lego animation, and it came to me as a series of JPEG images, and I had to stitch that together.
The whole thing still feels so seamless given the amount of time you did it. So, and on top of the editing, which, you know, this is a lot of kind of like unsung heroes of filmmaking, is the stuff that's done in dark rooms and people don't get to see. But in addition to the editing, like the sound design and the mixing, like how long was your post-production process once you did get all the elements together?
I tried to mix and level everything as it came in, because if somebody didn't do music, I could plug in my Casio keyboard and do a little score.
That's what I was wondering about. Did you end up scoring to tie everything together? So is that's all you when we're hearing some of the music, or most?
Some of the time. Some of the time. I think I scored 7 or 8 of them, including my own. A lot of people did their own music. A few people used the original soundtrack music.
Have you heard from anybody related to any of the Back to the Future films?
Yeah. Actually, one of the people who did a scene managed to get 2 of the original actors to be in his scene as cameos. So that's really cool and fun for people, because they're redoing these roles 35 years later.
That's right.
My math is not great.
Sure.
But it's been a while.
Yeah.
So they were on board, and they've been, you know, helping us share it and get the word out. And I have a friend who was in a Robert Zemeckis movie, and he sent it to Robert, who sent a simple message back that said, "Very cool." So he's
did you
seen the trailer?
did you, amazing. So, yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Robert Zemeckis is the director of the original film.
Yep.
Could you have ever imagined, that was actually my next question for you, like what's been a surprising outcome of this? I mean, you know, your intentions were very clear, and the constraints and the elements, but what's been some of the outcomes that you just didn't foresee happening?
The kind of global response to this has been something I never would have predicted. I think within the first day of people signing up for scenes, it was just people I knew. It was friends of friends, and it was, you know, we had like 20, 30 scenes signed off, and I thought, this is going to be great. All these people are super creative and bored, and we're going to make a thing. But the next day we started getting people from Mexico and Europe and Australia and all these places. I don't know these people, and it turns out it was shared in some Back to the Future fan groups. That part of it, the global, you know, people coming together and working on something, and like the community aspect in our little Facebook group that's only for people who worked on it, really,
Right,
is just great. And then once it came out, the press was kind of astronomical. It's in all these, you know, newspapers and blogs in all these languages that I don't speak. So I'm reading Google Translate write-ups of the project, and I think there's some quotes that I gave early on that I put up on the website about why we did it and what the purpose was. And I've seen those quotes now translated into so many languages and then back into English, and it makes no sense, but it's been fun.
Do you think you would have any advice for other filmmakers or artists, or, you know, any makers out there, if they want to attempt a collaborative project?
Don't try to do it by yourself. Get more people on the administrative side to help organize it so that it's not overwhelming.
Right. Well, it turned out amazingly, and I was so thrilled to come by it. And it was just, yeah, it's one of those Easter eggs that during this time has just really blown me away. And I've been so excited to share it with friends. So I think we're all wondering, how do you follow up this?
I was actually a lot of people ask if we're going to do Back to the Future Part 3, and I'm more than happy to watch someone else do Back to the Future Part 3, and I'll even do a scene from it. But I'm not eager to start another one of these anytime soon. And actually, I have a feature film, a documentary that I've been working on for 3 years that was supposed to premiere next week, and it is not. A lot of things have been delayed, and that's fine. I consider myself lucky that that's kind of the worst of it for me, is delaying this project. That is a feature documentary about the last Blockbuster video in the world, which is here in Bend, Oregon, which is still open even right now.
It's an essential service.
They're doing curbside pickup, and
Yeah.
you can still get, a copy of Wayne's World 2 on DVD. So I'm in post on that. We're actually recording the final narration this week, doing some color grading and sound mixing and music licensing and things like that have been kind of stretched out now that we're
Right.
delayed for our premiere. But that's the next big thing, hopefully.
Congratulations. That I can't wait to see that. I mean, I have so many fond memories of my Blockbuster days. That's exciting. Congratulations. Well, it's been really wonderful to hear your process, and thank you for sharing the story behind a really epic, wonderful collaborative project. And yeah, I can't wait to hopefully one day meet you in the real world.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you so much for having me on this internet talk.
Thanks, Taylor. Have a great day.
You too.
That was a really great internet talk. We were really happy. We're going to have quite a few of those this weekend that we're really excited about.
I mean, Conan O'Brien has like an internet talk now. Jimmy Fallon has
All the talk shows are internet talk now.
Saturday Night Live has an internet.
We're all at home.
We were doing it first.
That's right. Deconstruction was here first. Well, it's not a competition, right? That's actually one of the main mantras of the Deconstruction is it's an uncompetition. But this year, we're going to spice it up a little, right? There will be prizes. There are multiple categories that the participants will find out more in their playbook. There'll be a family category. Is there a student category? More can be, or we'll talk about more of that in our Zoom chat that we're having with the participants later this evening. You can find all of that in the Discord channel. So we would reiterate that the prizes, the jurors and the judges of the competition are the teams and the participants. So you will choose the awards for your fellow participants. And the outcomes of those, we are going to make a donation to the team's choice towards a COVID-19 related relief organization. So we look forward to meeting you later in the Zoom chat. But right now, we want to remind everyone that you can come back here to this channel tomorrow, Saturday, at 5 o'clock Eastern and 10 o'clock Eastern. We have 2 show times for you. We've got some amazing talks, some amazing performers. I can't wait to see them and share them with you.
We're going to talk to the teams too.
And watch out, teams, we've got your number. So I can't wait to also chat with y'all, and let's do it. Let's deconstruct distance together, right? Okay. We are going to say goodnight and see you in the Zoom chat, everybody.